Okay, so Kasumi's boss. Special effect. Highlight damage increased by 50%, assassin damage increased by 20%, and the gimmick itself is every time you use a buff, healing, or defense skill, you remove the curse, and by removing the curse, you get defense debuff. 12% after 3 stacks, so 36% total. Make sure you include that in your defense calculation. And then when you reach a max stacks of 3, you increase the highlight damage taken by 30%. So here is the team. So interestingly enough, I'm not gonna go all in on this side because the DPS on the other side just does more damage. Stay tuned to know who it is. We're doing a Kasumi team with Futaba. So let's go through characters one by one. Kasumi, the main DPS of course. This is a Mindscape. Then she's running Wisdom Virtue, and Kasumi is A0R0. And you need at least 23.5% crit and 14.5% pierce rate, including Navigator. Then next up we have Sustain. We need Sustain here because it's MLD, and you need a Guardian or Medic here to get the point multiplier. Not point multiplier, but to make sure that you don't die in like one hit or something, because of how the stage works. So Marion, you need her to be A1. This is a must. You need A1. If you don't have A1 Marion, but you have Sawamoko, you can use Sawamoko. I will leave a Sawamoko rotation at the end, because this rotation only uses 2 debuffing skills from under. If you use Sawamoko, you need 3 debuffing skills. The rotation will be a bit different. But yeah, the Mindscape, not much. Then she needs to run Departure Control, very important for defense debuff, and my Marion is A1 R1. Then we have Court, of course. Court very nice with Kasumi. I forgot to mention just now the crit rate of Kasumi, that's with A1 Court. If you have A0 Court, you need 38.5% crit rate. So you need the star card. My Kasumi is running crit multiplier because I can drop the crit rate for crit multiplier because of A1 Court. If you don't have A1 Court, you just run crit rate main card. The score will be less, but that's how it works. This is our Mindscape. She's running Creation Reconciliation, and my code is A1R0. Then our Navigator is going to be Futaba. It's very nice that we don't need to use Wind anymore. But from now on, it's most likely going to be Futaba and Ange all the time. Unless they, or at least until they introduce some sort of 3 guild boss or something. I don't think that's going to happen until we catch up to CN. Here's the Mindscape of Futaba, and she needs to run Resolve Labor. And my Futaba is A0R0. For the knife, for the dagger, I'm running Glimmer. If you do not have enough defense debuff, you can run either Knife or Starry Compass. Then the Persona, we have Shausa with Rakunda. Then Chilkuten, Rebellion with buff the crit. Then attack also from the Overclock. Then Throne, also Rebellion, so that one of the turns, at turn 5, you can use Rebellion, which can trigger the passive to get damage up. You can only trigger this Overclock once for this team because this team doesn't really debuff any, or doesn't really inflict any ailments. Okay, you do inflict ailment with Core Skill 1, but it's not enough to charge up the Overclock. So you want to save the Rebellion on the last turn, or last 2 turns. Turn order 1, 2, 3, 4 must be like this. The Wonder must be number 1. First turn, Shausa Rakunda. And Marion skill 3 of the Pierce. Then Court skill 1. Then get a shot, but it's fine. First turn doesn't matter anyways. Then skill 2 on Court. Sadly, Marion is weak to nuclear, but it's fine because her sustain is good. Then skill 1 Futaba, debuff defense. Then Shausa highlight. Then Jikokuten Rebellion of crit and attack. Then skill 1 with Marion to debuff defense with the control departure. Skill 1 you shock, get the crit rate. And then we can do Kasumi skill 1. Okay, that's a little bit bad. Hopefully can heal to max so can activate A1 Marion. The pierce rate is super important for this fight. And start. Then we can do Shausa. Then skill 3 Marion, hopefully Kasumi is full. I think she is. To double confirm this, we can go to the start screen. Look at the pierce. The pierce should be more than 30%, 38. Then we do code highlight. Okay, you can check the Kasumi's crit right now. Plus 32%. Going just nice. Then we can do Kasumi highlight first. Your code is A2, you do Kasumi after core skill 3. Then skill 3. Now attack. Little damage, but damage is damage I guess. Then Kasumi skill 3. Then Shausa Rakunda. Mirror skill 2. Core skill 2. Kasumi skill 2 on core. Don't hit Kasumi? Okay, that's fine. Then we do skill 1. Then Jikokuten highlight. Must be Jikokuten because his highlight can buff attack. You must main target Kasumi, so she gets attack buff. Then we do Throne, must be Throne Rebellion to get the damage up. You will see there, yep, damage up. Then skill 1 Marion for the defense debuff. Skill 1 shock. Sadly Kasumi is less than 50% now. Okay, now she is max because of the skill 1, skill 2, Marion skill 2 for the healing. You can just tank, should be fine. Then Futaba skill 3. Then you start. Rosa. Marion skill 3. Everyone full HP, that's nice. Just make sure that the A1 is active now. Very important. The angel in white, this one must be active here. Pierce rate super important for this fight. Then we do a Rosa highlight. The damage will lack a lot if we don't have enough defense debuff. Then we do Kasumi highlight. Then skill 3. Now attack. And then the final skill 3. It should be close to 150, I hope. Oh, I think this is a low roll. Ooh, that's quite a big low. The damage variance is really rough for Kasumi. So NIDHOGGR is back. It's quite nice to have him again. I know we just had him, but these are I think the only third time MLD NIDHOGGR has rerun. So that's funny. Anyway, special effect, when you heal, you increase final damage. And you do want to heal, because it's final damage, no regular damage. Final damage is more important. Then blast damage increase. So this one, the gimmick, basically some poison stack thing. It's like a DOT thing that you cannot remove. You will stack more, up to 3 stacks, and you will take more damage, but at the same time you increase your own attack as well. So we need to worry about that one. But yeah, here's the team. I am not using Haru, not using Summer Closer, I am using Akechi, because Akechi is just better here. I think Akechi is just the best sweeper in the game right now, honestly. He just hits everything from neutral, his Almighty ignores defense, he just do big damage. So if you do not have Akechi, you can just run either Haru or Summer Closer. I'll have a sample rotation at the end for you to modify it or something. But I will be using Akechi here because my purpose of the video is to try to push for a highest score possible that I can find for my account. So I'll be using Akechi. So here is landscape. He is of course running the Freedom and Disappointment, the DPS set. You need at least 41.1% crit rate, including Navigator. And my Akechi is A0R0. Then our healer is going to be Twins Medic. So A0 Twins Medic is going to have a different rotation, slightly different rotation than A1 Twins, because A0 Twins heal less. And for this stage, you want to heal for the final damage increase. So there's going to be some tweaks to the rotation. So I'll be doing a healing skill with Wonder to get the final damage. If you're A1 Twins, you can just run Taro Kaja or something. Just replace the healing skill with a buffing skill. But yeah, this is the landscape. Then for the cards, Nativity and Power, then my Twins is A0R1. Now Tempest Wind or Buffer, Tempest Wind is I think the best support for Akechi because the crit damage, crit rate. Turbo core Twins strategy is not as good because they buff either buff Pierce or buff Highlight, not really useful for Akechi. So here's a landscape. She's running Creation Worry. My Tempest Wind is A0R0. Then we have our new Navigator, Ange. Ange is just good for any character, honestly. And here's a landscape. I maxed out literally everything. Then here's the stat screen. He's running Hope and Labor for the Pierce, although the Pierce not really useful. Actually, maybe using, when I think about it, maybe the Integrity Labor would be better because you are too almighty. But it's gonna be a very small increase, I think. Doesn't really matter much, I think. But yeah, my Ange is A0R0. For Dagger, of course, if you're running main DPS Akechi, Plasma Blade 100%. It just makes sure that you have 3 different elements on the team. So I have Bless, Almighty, and Wind. So you can activate the Akechi's passive. Now for Persona, we are Dominion. Dominion is running Rebellion. Then Dionysus, Revolution, Rebellion, and Mediarahan or Mediarama, doesn't matter as long as it's an AoE healing skill. And finally Courier, mainly because of the passive. Because you have like a bunch of elements, like different hit elements. The Twins already have 4, which can easily activate the Courier, the 15% attack buff. For turn order, Akechi last of course, main DPS. Then 1, 2, 3, doesn't really matter these two. I prefer Twins A0 to be number 1, so that he can buff. So first turn, you do Fire Ice from the Twins, just attack the one that is weak. Then Dionysus Rebellion on Akechi, because it's our main DPS. Tempest Wind skill 3. And then skill 2. If you run Akechi DPS, main DPS, you always want to do a skill 2. Skill 2 then skill 3. Because skill 2 buffs his own damage. Now we wait for the animation. Okay, then now Ange skill 1. You buff the attack, or I guess the damage. And then Electric Wind, you attack again the one that's weak. You also heal up. So the problem with A0 Twins is that there's not a lot of healing, and this stage wants healing, because healing will increase your final damage. If you're A1 Twins, you don't really need to worry about this because you heal very often. If you're A0 Twins like me, you need to do some micro adjustments. I'll talk about it next turn. Then with skill 2 with Wind. The best part about Ange is that I can run Tempest Wind finally, just because I don't need to have the clash of 2 winds on the team. Now skill 3, and just look at the damage, man. Just look at this damage. 3.5 million. And that's not even a fully buff skill 3. 3.5 million. It's gonna launch 2 more skill 3. Okay, imagine the damage. He is very strong. I think he might actually be stronger than Firecrackery. Just from like the damage numbers and stuff. Then we do a skill 3 from Ange. Then it's a Pierce buff. Pierce and attack, I think. Though Pierce doesn't really do much for Akechi, but it's fine. Then we skill 3. Just attack. Just to heal up. So right now, if you want, you can check something. You can check your Akechi. Go and find the special effect, this one. The final damage increase. This can stack up to 4 times. I'm only 3 times. So to get it to 4, I have to do a Wonder Media with Dionysus. I still get a crit damage buff, so that's nice. If you're A1 twins, you should be max, I think, because you heal more often. Skill 3. The nice thing is that Ange can also heal with the auto skill 2. Then now you can check Akechi crit rate plus 12%, so I'm 99.9, almost there. Then with Akechi highlight. This highlight isn't really for damage, but for the buff to the skill 3 to do more damage. 700,000 isn't really much compared to 3.5 million for skill 3 just now. There we skill 2. Also get a defense debuff. Then we wait again. Yeah, Akechi is actually really strong. I mean, I already talked about it in my final review video that he's very strong, but yeah, I think I might have given his rating a little bit too low. I'll do skill 1. Then Fire Ice. Then we do Dominion Rebellion. Buff Akechi. This will also get a command stack. Then skill 2. Then just pay attention how much this Akechi skill 3 does. It's crazy. And now if you want you can also check the special effect. The special effect 4 stacks, so I have all the stacks already. For this skill 3 it's gonna do big damage. Look at that, 5.2 million damage. Insane. Imagine that with the Ange, the couple, doing that again. And the last turn Q3 is going to do even more damage because we have even more buffs there. Then we can do an Ange skill 3. Then we do Electric and Wind. I still haven't tried an A6 Akechi yet. Very excited to try that. Then Wind, Tempest, buff. Then Dionysus Revolution. Tempest Wind skill 3, buff the crit. Then skill 2. Now we do skill 1 from Ange. And then you do Da Capo. Do it right now before we forget. Yeah, I've forgotten once, which is kind of funny. Once isn't really that bad when I do this like 12 times already. But yeah, with skill 3, just attack. I attack the side because the side I think takes more damage than the middle one. Then Cohesion. So just a bit of fun fact here, the Cohesion, the commandment stack, is on Wonder, not on Akechi. Which means that if you use the Da Capo on Akechi, the commandment stack will decrease for this one. Because it's on Wonder, right? If you rewind Akechi's turn, you will still consume this. Okay, I'll talk about that once we get to Akechi's turn. Skill 2, Tempest Wind. Okay, now we can check the special effect is 4, that's good. Then with Fire Ice highlight, buff up even more, his damage is going to be insane. So right now, just now you saw it was 2 commandment stack, right? Now I do a skill 3. Look at the damage. 7.6 million, that's insane. Actually insane. I don't think Firecracker Ring can even hit 5 million for me. Akechi can do 7 million, it's crazy. 7.6. Okay, so now we look at the command stack. Now it's on the extra action, the rewind turn. then you will see that command stack decreases to only 1 stack. So you just need to be careful if you're using a character that does damage. Like for example, Wonder, if you use someone that does damage like Sawamoko, skill 3, it will consume the command stack, which you don't want. You want both command stack on the catchy. So just a bit of a tip here. Then Ange just do skill 3. Doesn't really matter, yeah, I don't think it matters if I use any skill. But I'll just do it because I can, I guess. Then skill 3, the final skill 3. Just now was 7.6, this should be higher because Ange's passive can buff attack during rewind turn. It's like 8 million damage. 8 million damage. And the 7.6, look at the score. Even a high score. 200, almost 207 million. This is the first time ever I did over 200 million with a full A0 team. Insane.